Welcome everybody to Forza Motorsport 6, and today we're dealing with a 2000 BMW 323ti Sport. Now this car is based on the E36 Saloon and was built between 1993 and 2000. More than 370,000 of these were built, making it an extremely popular car for a BMW. And from the front bumper to the A-pillar, this is identical to the E36 Saloon, as well as having an identical wheelbase. Though the main difference between this and the Saloon is from the A-pillar rearwards, and as you can see it's short and stubby, and it also has a hatchback, so making it one of the first for BMW, one of the few that actually made, outside the likes of the 1 Series that replaced this car eventually. So yeah, the one of the best things about this car is the fact it is a hatchback, but it's also a hatchback that's rear wheel drive, like most BMWs to be honest, and yeah, also has a really rather good engine, which we'll take a look at now. So yeah, it has a 2.5 litre inline 6 engine, and it produces 168 horsepower and 181 pounds-feet of torque, which is fairly decent, especially for a near 2-decade-old car. And yeah, also weighs 2,767 pounds, so it can make the most of that power, being as lightweight as it is. And it was a bit of a rarity as well in terms of its layout, because it is a hatchback, but it's also rear-wheel drive and has a far bigger engine than most hatchbacks at the time, so it does have that on its side. Now the TI stands for Turismo Internazionale, just in case you were wondering, and obviously being the sport version it's going to be a bit more of a speed machine than normal. Also has 323ti on the side skirts there, just in case you didn't know what car you had. But yeah, this is a car that more favours the kind of the track than the normal road, so to see what it can do we're going to take it out onto the track. So yeah, see you when we get there. Welcome to Hockenheimring National Circuit. We're going to take this car around on the first lap and talk through it on the second lap. Now as you can see, this car is pretty decent to drive, it's pretty fun as well. It's mainly down to the suspension, because yeah, it has shares a suspension with the Z3, and it has a front suspension that's used on the E36 Saloon McPherson strut design, but the rear design is a semi-trailing arm, which was used on the previous E30 versions of BMW in the 3 Series, which that rear end suspension favours oversteer. So yeah, this is very favourable with drifters and track enthusiasts, and I can see why, because it's a lightweight car, but it's also a car that has rear wheel drive and a decent engine to go with it that's no doubt endlessly tunable as well. So yeah, I can certainly respect it in that front, and I can certainly respect it in terms of acceleration wise as well for a 16-year-old car. 0 to 67.8 seconds, 0 to 119.5, and we're going to a top speed of 140 mile an hour, which isn't too shabby even by today's standards. And yeah, back in 2000 it must have been pretty much a riot, and no doubt this, not this, technically this version, but less powerful versions of this car were first time rear wheel drive cars for a lot of people, because yeah, selling more than nearly 400,000 in fact cars is bound to get a lot of, pick up a lot of new drivers. So yeah, I actually see a lot of these around near me still. Not this version again, because I doubt the most powerful version is ever going to be the more popular version, but yeah, less powerful versions are pretty common around near me, and no doubt pretty common across the UK still, which just kind of shows how long lasting these cars are. So yeah, quite frankly, besides the looks of the rear end with the stubby little tail, I'm a fan of this car, and yeah, if looks are worth a compromise, if looks are a compromise, then that may as well be the case if you can get a good hatchback and a solid driving car. So yeah, besides the looks, I like the way it drives, I like the way it sounds, I like the engine, and yeah, in real world terms it's a practical family car, which yeah, certainly wasn't something that BMW were doing all that much of, especially for the base kind of market. Yeah, those saloons and everything like that, but no real hatchback, and yeah, it was pretty much out there on its own for a time, which they aren't now obviously, but yeah, for a time BMW were one of the few, if not the only rear wheel drive big engined hatchback out there, which yeah, shame they're not doing it now, but yeah, still pretty good nonetheless. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.